Hi guys, Athena here, and I just wanted to let you know that I have some great techniques to help you keep your frequencies high in this coming year. I think that we've been bombarded with a lot of low frequency stuff, and so I want to make sure that we're prepared moving on. And, low frequencies tend to seep into your energetic field through, they just kind of move in through little holes that are left through trauma and bad experiences. And they hold mass and they just stay there like a toad and sit there. And so, how do we get rid of those toads? Because if you don't get rid of the toad sitting there, that mass sitting there, you may relive your experience over and over and over again. And this produces anxiety and panic attacks and all kinds of disease and other issues that come forward. And I think in times of crisis we might need to be prepared to do something that's quick. And so one of the quickest things that we can do is actually working with essential oils. And I think it's interesting that most of us know about essential oils. We probably have them in our home. We like to maybe make some soap out of them or use them in a diffuser or, a spray, make our own oil. But are you prepared to use essential oils in emergency situations? And it's kind of like being a paramedic with these skills moving forward. And I mean, don't cut yourself short. If you are good with essential oils and you've been using that in your home and family and with some friends, it could be very useful moving forward in the days ahead. So there may be a lot of people that as we move forward have anxiety attacks, pure panic, and totally like the body spirit complex is getting fragmented. And a lot of these bad kind of negative things seep into our field through trauma, and they hold mass and they kind of stay there and they sit there like a toad. So how do we get rid of the toads? And it's very necessary to move forward for, just to move out of that kind of thinking and emotion that comes our way, and also just to move forward consciously as a collective. So if you're good with essential oils, you may be called upon to use these in emergency situations. That's right, emergency situations. You were told if you worked with essential oils, it was great to have in your medicine cabinet. Maybe you don't need to count on outside extrinsic things coming your way to keep yourself well, but what about helping others stay well? And if you've ever seen someone in a full-on anxiety attack, or you've had one yourself, it's no joke. And so if you understand that these like past experiences are holding mass into the body, and the person may relive, or you yourself may relive this experience over and over and over again, because it's in the DNA, it's now in the cellular structure. So it's time to break that up and get rid of that toad that's sitting there and kind of taking over your body. And energetically, if you understand that, I mean, these things get you when you're weak and they get you when you're down. So we want to raise your frequency and vibration so that these things can no longer enter. And the things that are already there, maybe, be able to move past that. And essential oils is a great way to do it. And so, I think we poo-poo it off like it's for soap and smells and all great kind of things. And that's actually true, because essential oils deal with your limbic system. And they also deal with the amygdala of the brain, which is responsible for emotions and memory. And so we retrieve those emotions and memories that are sitting as mass that have seeped in to our energetic complex. So how do we like rectify that, and how do we do that quick? And so in an emergency situation, if somebody is having a full-blown panic attack and your first go-to is to meditate or do EFT tapping or whatever, don't be surprised if that doesn't maybe work out for you, because I think the person or yourself needs to come down a little bit out of that spinning and that toad sitting there, so they can even have energetic work, or they can even have those kind of experiences. And essential oils is actually very quick because it's dealing with smells, the memory, the limbic system. Think about when you cook breakfast and coffee and how that's, relaxing. You smell that, you feel wonderful. The smell of aftershave that maybe your grandfather wore or something. I mean, you know how smells and scent will bring you back to an emotion, back to a state of being really fast. So it's really powerful stuff, and I'm not sure if everyone's really looked deeper into it. They look into the wellness aspect of it, but this is even more on an emergency basis. You can always, do diffusing of the oils. You can put it into a dropper or a roll-on. I do some serious business. This is the size oils that I have to order for my business. But for you guys that even just have, doTERRA or these smaller companies that give you, like a broad range of oils, you're a practitioner. You may not even know it, but you may be called upon to help people calm down, stay out of panic. And are you prepared to do that? Because I think it may come your way whether you like it or not, and you probably already have an arsenal of great stuff right there in your house. And so there are 3 oils that I'm going to go through that you could put together to calm the nerves, change cellular memory, and get somebody more in balance very quickly. Like I said, if you're going to ask somebody to let's meditate and we're going to do Reiki now or whatever, I'm not even sure they can have it at that point. I'm talking about on an emergency basis to calm people. And if you have this in your little medicine chest and you're kind of a medicinal person this way, you can offer a whole lot to bring them back down to calm so fast. You don't even know what your power is here. And you have great power this way if you're into essential oils. So this is not just for soaps and woo-woo and fun and I'm gonna change, the atmosphere in my house by diffusing it. All good, for sure. But if we're gonna offer maybe to someone else or even in our own home, how to work with this quickly. And so the 3 that I wanna talk about are, first of all, ylang ylang. And this one helps with shock. It combats low self-esteem, anger, okay? So working in the limbic system and working in the amygdala of the brain, this is powerful stuff. It'll actually start to work in there to calm the person down, okay? To give them change the memory or adjust the frequency for them in the time being. The other thing is geranium. And so this helps with negative memories. It also balances the emotions. So those 2 together, geranium, ylang ylang. And the third one that I want to mention is sandalwood. Now, some of these are a bit of money to invest in. I can always make you a blend and send it to you in a 1 ounce solution. But sandalwood to me is the most powerful. It's also the most expensive to work with. And it removes the negative programming from the cells. So that's some powerful stuff. When I say something sitting here like a toad and holding mass, sandalwood is one that will really operate to like dissipate that. It's a bit of an investment though. So think about that. My bottles of sandalwood and what you might have to get as a bottle of sandalwood might be two different things. Very pricey. Like Rose Absolute is also very pricey, also very powerful. So I think if you want to stimulate the pineal gland, we want to move forward to help with the heart chakras. And the biggest one to me is down here, the solar plexus. I think with trauma, pain, and memories, most of those hold in the lower chakras. The solar plexus for sure, the navel area, and the root chakra. So like one thing that you can do right there is with carrier oil, mix that, put it directly on those areas, rub it directly on the solar plexus or the navel or the lower root area to get somebody back into balance. We're talking quickly. We need to do this quickly. Also smelling it, also putting under their nose, also putting it at the pulse points. You're like a paramedic with this stuff. This is like a different way of dealing with us being practitioners. We've never been asked to maybe do crisis work with wellness stuff, but you may be asked to now. So I want you to consider the arsenal that you have at home with these. It's much more powerful than you ever thought. If you had a subscription to Young Living, doTERRA, you know, one of these companies, and you were attracted to this, you may be asked to help other people. And I don't want you to think that you don't have any skills this way, because if you could put together a blend and have them smell that and bring them back to a little bit of place of stasis, now we can come in and say, hey, let's deep breathe and meditate. Let's bring in the Reiki. Let's do some energy work. But if you can't even get the person to calm down, they can't have all that. I'm telling you, when I say they might sock you in the eye or throw up on you, I've actually seen that. So, you know, I worked in domestic violence for years and crisis for years. And I think that I saw a whole lot of the side of our collective that a lot of people didn't see. And it's time for you to know about that now too. And if you have this kind of access to things, you may be asked to be like a paramedic or a practitioner on a level that you had never really thought before. So we have to get rid of these toads sitting in people that they may not even be aware of. I think we can move them forward this way. I'm certain of it. And essential oils is a quick way to do it. So, you know, later you can do different modalities and sound therapy, and you can calm them in different ways or use a combination of all that. But one thing that's so fast because of the memory centers and the limbic system, that amygdala in the brain connects good smells, breakfast, coffee, my grandmother's perfume, that kind of thing. It'll bring them back so fast without you having to do a ton of work. I mean, without you having to hold too much energetic space. If you have these tools, let's use them. Now's the time. So I think if you want to know how many drops and stuff, you can go to my website. You can also contact me and I'll let you know exact formulas. If If you feel you're a good practitioner and you can do that on your own, I'm sure you can figure that out on your own. But this is like being a paramedic with essential oils. I'm sure you had no idea like 10, 15 years ago that you were enjoying getting involved with essential oils and learning about that you may be called upon to be a wellness practitioner in your immediate area. That might mean your family, your neighbors, your church, like close by for you. And no problem there, because it doesn't mean that you're going to be like healing the world, but yet you are in just your small arena that has access to you. So you are a medicine person and you may not have even realized it. You just thought, I just like essential oils, they smell good. But if you understand that those smells and what that does to break up the mass, the toads sitting there in your soul, then you realize how much power you actually have with this. If you have any questions, contact me at athenas-body.com. I can also make you up an oil. Some of these can get expensive. You may decide it's more cost effective for me to make you up the oil rather than invest in some of the oils. I mean, even just the sandalwood, some of these, like I have to buy smaller sizes just to be able to do my work because it can be very pricey, but there's no reason we can't all work together. And I know that you are all going to figure this out. You're all going to find your place here. You had no idea maybe like how powerful you were and what your place was, but I think you're figuring it out, and I can't wait to work with you, collaborate with you, help you, and let's get everything set up a little more in balance. We've got to get this place in balance or nobody's going to be happy. So I think that you guys are really good at this stuff already. So this was just a helpful hint to let you know, or to let you know like really how trauma resides in the person and why you relive it, why it comes up for you. Break up this mass, get rid of it. We've got to move on this way. So you let me know. I love to hear from you, comments and how you feel about this, and we can make this all really a different place. So you let me know if I can help you. Okay, bye.